Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Ariel De Jesus. If you guys don't know me, you guys know I do a show called Retro Gold Spaces. This is episode 5, and tonight I'm going to be talking about the 1989-1990 Running Rebels. And if everybody knows that team, that's probably one of the most decorated college basketball teams history-wise. They had so many good players. I mean, from starting five, these guys were absolute monsters. They won the Big West Conference. They on the first round on bye as far as going into the tournament. They were storming, steamrolling through teams. I mean, these guys had an infinite run and gun offense, featured with Greg Anthony, who was a defensive specialist. They had Larry Johnson. Everybody knows Grandma, and everybody knows how he turned out going into the NBA. This guy had a mean low post game, had the bunnies for days, man. I mean, dude was an undersized forward, man, but it didn't feel like it, man, because he was so strong, man, like upper body, and I actually had the joy of seeing him play up close and personal as a kid, and I still remember it to this day, man, as being like a 1980s, 1990s college basketball connoisseur. I love the way that he played, man. This dude like was so undersized, but he can post you up. He can go like leak out on a fast break and get a fancy, nasty, filthy dunk, like something like out of an N1 mixtape. And if you needed a bucket, man, he could get it for you too, man. He actually wasn't a bad shooter, especially on the mid-range game. And he had this little thing, man. He would get, I don't know how he did it, man. His little head fake was so good, man. He would get defenders in the air so quick, man, in the NBA and the college level. And you also can't forget about Stacey Augmon, man. Stacey Augmon, aka Plastic, man. That dude was the contortion king, man, because he was so athletic. Stacey Augmon, man. Watching him play in college and the pros, man. I remember him getting out on the floor, man. And, he's a pretty decent rebounder. He could leak out. He's another guy that get you a bucket. He was always in double digits. They have four guys in that lineup that were in double digits, man. And as far as the start lineup, man, and you can't forget about Anderson Hunt, man. He didn't have an NBA career and then went undrafted, but he actually won the Player of the Year in the tournament because he was a big factor on that UNLV. Everybody thinks about all the sexy names like the Larry Johnsons, the Stacey Augmon, and Anderson Hunt was the guy that a lot of people don't really talk about, but he's someone that was a big factor on that team, a really big factor on that team. And from 1 to 5, man, I mean they had guys that were capable, man, and even their centers, man, would get down there and they would get their buckets, and they just had it was like they had competition. Remember, man, the Duke was a powerhouse, and Georgia Tech too, man. Georgia Tech was a team that gave them a lot of problems. And Duke, being a renowned program, they had like college basketball on lock. So, that tournament, man, is to remember. That 1989-90 run was something to remember. That's why they were the Running Rebels, because they actually played what their name stood for, man. These guys were fast. They were get out in transition real quick. They were run and gun offense, and they were just pure fun to watch, man. I remember one time, man, when I actually saw Larry Johnson play up close and personal instead of just seeing him in the college games, and I said, damn, a lot of people don't realize how athletic this man was. He's a guy that, aside that, later in his career, his back gave out on him, but he still, before the injuries, dude was a monster, man. He got drafted in the first round, #1 pick overall after they won that illustrious championship. And he came into the league blazing, man. This guy was going he came into the league and already he had another guy, a monster on that Charlotte Hornets squad, Alonzo Mourning, who me as a Georgetown fan, seeing him come up also as well. I never really questioned the fit until I started seeing what was going on in the reports and stuff, where Larry Johnson was, it was supposedly some Alonzo Mourning had a thing where he was hating on Larry because they had ended up extending him and giving him a monstrous contract, and he felt sorry because he was due a contract and he didn't get paid. And the thing is, it's crazy, man. If it wasn't for egos, man, I think the Hornets would have been something special, man, because they were good, man, playing together, man. Honestly, I don't think the fit was bad at all. It was just the egos, man, that got in the middle of it. You know, one man thinks he should have got paid, or they were cutting into his money because they paid Grandmama. And Grandmama deservedly so deserved that extension, because that dude in his rookie year, man, was putting up 19 and what was it, 19 and 9, man, rebounds a game. Dude was a monster, bro. Like his rookie year, like you don't really see guys gun blazing like that. Cause after winning a title, because some guys in the college ball game, they don't translate into the NBA. Larry Johnson was everything you thought he would be, as far as like from college going to the pros. I mean, he made all rookie first team. Him and Stacey Weber made all rookie first team, and they both came into the league and they were good, man. I mean, the more light was shining on Johnson, but you can't forget about Plastic Man either, because Plastic Man was getting busy rookie year too, putting up 13, 6 and 1.2 steals a game. So you know he was another good defender, a good rebounder for a three. And he's another one that he leaked out in transition, was a pretty good playmaker. He basically would get out on the floor in transition very easily, get quick buckets, and that's what they did. The same thing they did in college was the same thing they did in the pros. So that was pretty amazing. And Greg Anthony, man, a lot of people don't know. Yo, my man broke his jaw. I think it was against Fresno State. I remember that game. He broke his jaw, literally landed on his mouth and broke his jaw. And my man played like that the rest of the year. Like, that's insane, but my man was playing with a broken jaw throughout the whole year in college, man. That was sick, man. And we all know Greg Anthony. He came just like he was in college. He was a defensive specialist. The knack on him was he wasn't a great shooter, but he gave you a lot defensively, and that's why he was so adored. By me being a diehard Knicks fan, that's why he was adored by Pat Riley, because Pat Riley, he was a Pat Riley prototypical type of player, man. Played defense. Got up in guys' faces. Even in quicker guards, he could stay in front of them. Gave you a little spark off the bench if you needed to stop. If you were going on running, you needed some stops. He put in Greg Anthony, and he was that guy for that purpose, and he served a great purpose in those 4 years that he was with the Knicks. And Larry Johnson, I can't say no more about you, man, because it was a blessing in disguise. You ended up getting traded to the Knicks for Anthony Mason, and I remember like it was yesterday, man. So many moments where as you know, me going into my preteens and watching you elevate and be what you came from college, and you transitioned to the NBA like it was nothing for you, man. Athletic, get you big buckets, you would miss the big bucket, man, at the 4, man. And just show upper body strength, man, bodying guys that was bigger than you, 6'11", 6'10", jumping over them, athletic. I mean, before the health issues came around, I mean, you're another guy that's not talked about like Grant Hill on that aspect, because I think if you didn't have those injuries, you would have been something way more special, man, because you were already special. And to me, that's why you're enshrined, man. I got a picture of your 4-point play, in my phone, man, and I'm going to keep that for memory, because I still remember that like it was yesterday, man. I'll never forget it, man. That's when I was living in the Bronx. I came upstairs, the Knicks were playing Indiana, and next thing you know, they were down by 3. And they inbounded the ball. I remember the pass got tipped, went into your hands, and then he had Antonio Davis was on. Who Antonio Davis wasn't no slouch on defense, because that dude was a bruiser himself. But this is the accolades that Larry Johnson carried, man. Like, he would go up against guys that were bigger and stronger, or really power forwards or centers, and he would body them. Like, that's what Larry Johnson was, man. And shout outs to Grandmama, man, throwing up that L for you. But you don't get enough flowers that you deserve. And I remember, man, he caught that ball, head faked him, got him in the air, and drew the foul, and that shot just boom, went right in. And next thing you know, man, that garden was forever rocking, man. And I remember that how loud in the city. You had the city going crazy, man. I remember the next day, after we won that game, I went down to 3rd Avenue on 149th, and there was I knew this Arabic guy. He used to make like a custom-made T-shirts. So he had a Larry Johnson. He had your face in a cartoon, and it had the signature go-to that he had, and he was smiling and he was throwing up the hell. I said I had to get that, so I snatched that, and I don't know what I did with that T-shirt, man, but I was dumb. I might have lost it. Probably my mom's did somewhere. I don't know what she did, but that was something that was a shirt that I wore. I was proud wearing that Larry Johnson shirt, man, and everybody was calling me as a kid, and I was soaking out a link, because like you have become one of my fan favorites, man, along with Allen Houston. So, and John Starks, and a lot of other legends like Patrick Ewing, and you were enshrined in that, and that's why to this day the Garden actually still, once a Nick, always a Nick, and they have a lot of memorabilia of you, and I'm happy about that, man, because like, yeah, that UNLV team, man, that team is never gonna be forgotten. This man got his jersey retired. Plastic Man got his jersey retired. They became Nevada. They've been enshrined in Nevada's Hall of Fame in sports. Both of those guys, and Greg Anthony turned out to be he had a good role playing career. Was part of some good Portland Trailblazer teams as well as the Knicks teams that went to the finals and had a deep run. And he ended up having a successful career. And so did Plastic Man. Plastic Man actually became a player development coach. I remember he was in Denver for a little bit, and he was recently a coach in I think it was China, I believe. And now he's back as a Sacramento player assistant. So shout outs to him too, man. He's still in the game, showing these kids the ropes, man. And that's what I like to see, man. These guys after they retire and go into their years, but you guys are forever will be enshrined in history as college basketball's wonderful story, man. Because that championship team, I could watch that tape for days, man. On that run that y'all went when y'all beat Georgia Tech and then y'all beat Duke, a powerhouse that nobody gave y'all a chance. Everybody knew y'all was good, but nobody gave y'all a chance to beat them. And I wasn't too surprised when that happened because I was like, man, these guys, they're good, man, and they were being slept on. So, for them to go out there and beat Duke, and which no one thought was possible, and they actually did that, and to actually have that was their only championship to this day, man. That's crazy. But that's going to forever be enshrined in the Naismith Hall of Fame and College Basketball Hall of Fame, and rightfully so, man, because you guys turned out to be, wonderful players in the NBA and still carrying on with your careers. You got Greg Anthony, who works for TNT. I know show you that a lot of guys see him calling the games. He does a lot of college basketball stuff, especially on with ESPN and CBS Sports. So shout out to Greg Anthony too, man. Man, he got his son right now in the NBA, Cole Anthony, and he breeded another baller, man. So hopefully his career turns out to have a long, successful career. So I just wanted to give them guys their flowers, man. If you guys haven't checked it out, I'm going to leave a highlight video for you guys. If you guys never saw their highlights in college, these guys are something to watch, man. They were wonderful. They were phenomenal. So make sure you guys check them out, man. And shout outs to that UNLV Running Rebels team, man. You guys were forever be enshrined into the Hall of Fame of college basketball sports, man. And your legacy will carry on. I'm going to make sure of that, man, because you guys don't get enough flowers for that, man. So this is going to wrap up the episode 5 for Gold School Retro NBA. Make sure you hit a like, subscribe down low, and show me some love, man. I'll be doing more videos. Next week, I'm going to be doing Allen Iverson tribute. So I'm going to talk about his college career, his accolades, and how he entered the pro and what he's doing now. So I appreciate you guys tuning in to me, man. And shout outs to everyone for tuning in to your boy, man, Ariel. You guys don't know me. I'm on Twitter, Ariel Demian. And I'm also part of VSN Sports with my man Trippy, Smitty, Ray, Knicks Anonymous. Make sure you give us all a follow. And I'm also contributing on Knicks Spaces. So make sure you hit me up. I'm available on there every Monday at 6 o'clock where I talk about the upcoming Knicks schedule. So, and also this is my main staple. My baby is Gold Retro NBA Sports, man. So tune into episode 6 next week. I'll be doing Allen Iverson tribute. And thank you guys for tuning in, man. One love.